issues.
Yeah, sure. Real big game. So now the thing is, what's your take on the game? Let's start with that first. What's your take on the game? Considering we have some players out. I think Odegaard, Saka, Kai Havertz just got injured yesterday. So I don't know, like, what's your take on the game this evening?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a big game for Arsenal, and all the remaining games are going to be big for Arsenal now because you're in a tidy challenge. You know, I never sort of bought this City were going away. I think Arsenal are still strong, but City and ultimately will triumph. But this time, the pressure is on us because we're playing second. But I think from an Arsenal perspective, they'll just be looking to ignore that now and focus very much on what they're doing and try to win this game. And Brentford will be a difficult game. Sure, they are always exceptionally well organised and are doing really, really well in the league this season. You're right, Arsenal have injuries going into the game. Kai Havertz, obviously with a muscular injury. I don't think that's a big surprise given the seriousness of his recent injuries that he's had a setback. But he's a big bloke. He's played very well. I think he's been quite key to helping unlock Victor Gyökeres's form.
Sure.
Albeit, I think Victor Gyökeres would have improved with time anyway. But there is some good news this morning, which is that Trossard, Odegaard, and Saka could feature tonight. I think more likely against Wigan
For the FA Cup, yeah, sure.
but there's a chance of some of them are back. So big game, difficult game, but I think Arsenal will be quite positive days. Yeah.
Okay, but basically though, at first I'm thinking like the issue with the current schedule of the Premier League. The original issue I had was we are having City play 2 games before us. Do you get? And they're playing 2 games before us, and that was like a big advantage for them because obviously they've gotten 2 points from the game, and it really tells on our lead at the top. But notwithstanding, I think Brentford will be one of our trickiest games this season, considering the pressure and everything. But I wish we can play without pressure. Now, moving on, what will be your preferred lineup going into this game?
Yeah, it's just very quickly on the fixture. We do, of course, have Wolves now, which means again ahead of quite some time. Those and the pressure goes the other way round, but I think it's part of a title race. But I think Arsenal should definitely go strong for this one, right? We've had 4 or 5 days off since the game at the weekend on against Sunderland, and we've got the opportunity to rotate heavily against Wigan. So I think some of it will depend on who's fit and who's not. I think ideally get Urian Timber through this game and rest him against Wigan. But if he's any kind of doubt, he's having his sort of workload managed, he should be out. So, but I'm going to assume he's fit and available. So it's Raya, Timber, Saliba, Gabriel. I think Nketiah comes back in for this one at left back. Calafiori obviously has been the first choice this season, but he's a little bit rusty following his return from injury. So I'd rather he got his minutes against Wigan here. Obviously, Rice has Mendy in midfield.
Sure.
And then I think the attack line, I think Madueke will start on the right. And I think Gyökeres should start up top. I think then the 10 and the left wing sort of is a slightly more difficult one. If Trossard is available, then I think you go Trossard on the left for this one.
Okay.
As on
As a 10.
10.
As a 10, yeah.
But if Trossard's not available, then I wonder whether Odegaard is. I wonder if you go Odegaard on the 10 and Chef Eder out on the left. And the reason I'm not picking Martinelli here is because I think Brentford are going to be very compact and deny space. So I think Martinelli is at his best when given a little bit of space. And I just wonder if later in the game that might be the time for him to come on and shine in that role, which is why I'm not picking Martinelli, who I think is in great form. But I think it's really difficult to pick that forward line. Just don't quite know who's available and who's not.
Okay, but for me though, the only issue I still have with this lineup is the fact that for some reason Arteta doesn't. I don't think he trusts. Is he trust? But I don't see any reason why he doesn't play Norgard in matches. Like for me, this evening would have been a perfect game for Norgard to actually play, because then you can have a Norgard, Rice, Eze, or a Zubimendi, Norgard, Eze lineup. But I think we need to consider the fact that probably Arteta is saving some players for other games. Now, undoubtedly, this is like our most important game of the season so far. knowing Man City and their ability to just go six straight games on unbeaten, and they've done two already, and their next game in the league, I think, is against Newcastle. So I think we are resting. I think Arteta is keeping some players for other leagues or something. But personally, I wouldn't mind seeing Norgard in this game. Then for the wing position, I think Brentford will not attack us fully. I do not see Brentford playing an all-out attack for 90 minutes. It will get really bad if for any reason they get a goal before us, which I do not hope happens at any point. It's going to get really it's going to be really crazy. Yeah, it's going to be really crazy. There are
Pardon any.
I'm telling you, this is one. I'm telling you, like you should not even consider going behind in this game, because it's going to be if we do, then it's gone. I will not be surprised to see their nine switch into a midfield position just to make everything tight and compact. And also, we have an issue playing against low block place teams if our skipper is not playing. So the fact that Odegaard is not playing or might not play, and the fact that Brentford might just go low block and go for a counter is really, really scary. That's the honest truth. It's really scary. But I feel it's going to be a tight game. I feel it's going to be a really, 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 really tight and long 90 minutes. And I'm just hoping that we avoid mistakes from the back. That's one thing. Because in the previous match, there were mistakes at the back. I don't know why, but there were some mistakes at the back. But I'm just hoping that this time it's different and it's better. Also, the fact that we are playing Brentford today, then we play Wolves, I think on Wednesday, is going to be an advantage for us also. So if we can get through this game with maximum 3 points or at least a point, then get to Wolves and get the maximum point from Wolves, then we sustain the gap that we have against Man City. So I said it before. I said the game versus City April 18th will be the, in quotes, EPL final. At that point, we should know who is going to leave the trophy and all that. But if we can get good games before that time, we really wouldn't bother about that game versus Man City. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, lots of points there, right? I mean, I think you're absolutely right. The most important thing for us is focusing yourself on win, as I said right at the top. That if you win tonight, I think that's a real, good sign from an Arsenal perspective. Or, it was a bit of a kicker when Liverpool lost at the weekend, but equally,
Crazy game, bro. Like crazy, crazy games. Crazy game.
crazy, absolutely crazy. And it would have been a big boost to City, but I don't think it would have affected Arsenal negatively. So Arsenal, just as I say, need to focus on themselves. But if you win this one and then beat Wolves, then suddenly that pressure goes the other way around, doesn't it? It's suddenly you're 9 points clear. Yes, you played the game more, but the margin for error is less on City. But, got to win this one first.
Exactly.
Really,
Exactly. I keep telling everybody that this game is going to be. It's not going to be. Do not expect a very straightforward game. Expect a game of different things. You might try the counter, it won't work. You might try even set pieces might not work. You might try link up play, it might not work. So that's why I'm just hoping that tonight rather, we do not make any mistakes on our own end. Because sometimes I've kind of noticed a pattern with us. If City are very, very close to us, we tend to lose all focus and we tend to just get distracted and overthink and all.
well, yes, we have historically, right?
Yeah.
And I think you're right in the game. It's going to be very tight, very, it's going to be a dull game unless Arsenal can get an early goal.
Sure, sure.
But on this sort of, when City get close, boy, that is true historically, right? But my feeling is that if you look at that City side of 2, 3 years ago compared to this one, I don't think it's quite the same. I'm not saying City are a bad side by any stretch. They're sort of a very good side, but they're not a machine or a monster like they used to be. Uh, but equally, I think this Arsenal side is also better. It is more experienced. It is deeper in terms of squad. The manager is more experienced. And therefore, I think, the sort of title challenge of 2, 3 years ago and this one are not necessarily, the same. So I don't worry about that quite so much. I think the worry I would have really is sort of twofold. One, we're in all four competition. That's going to take a toll, but so are they.
Yeah.
And I still think our squad is deeper than theirs. And secondly, would be actually does the pressure almost from the crowd and the fans become the difficult factor in how Arsenal act that cheaper to dressing room rather than the other way around. Yeah, I think it's really important we stay calm. And as I say, tonight is going to be a really challenging game. I'll take a 1-0 win right now. Yeah.
I would take a scrappy win. As long as it's a win, I'll take a scrappy win.
Yeah.
Okay. So considering what's been said about Gyökeres and Eberechi Eze concerning their form, their influence in the team this season. Now, normally we all know that Eberechi Eze's best game came against Spurs, which was like some months ago. It feels like years ago right now, but still. Now there's a certain debate on the fact that Eberechi Eze has not been the best signing for Arsenal this season. So what's your take on that?
Uh, I think Ezra is a moments player. Uh, he's not necessarily consistent, and wasn't a Palace either. But when he's good, he's very, very good. But he can sort of have real quiet spells in terms of form and in the season. Uh, but I think he's a really important player for Arsenal. I think there is a period of adaptation for him. There is always any player when they come in, generally speaking, some in round running, but most have a period of adaptation. He's consistent to what he played at Palace. Palace very much counter attack, lots of space ahead. Of course, he shines in that.
Yeah.
Arsenal, very much more ball dominant, touch heavy.
Transition play. Yeah, transition play. Yeah.
I think obviously his defensive work needs to work, and I think that's I think he was over harshly punished after that mistake against Villa, but you could sort of see that there. But but for me, he's in the team to do a different job. Obviously he needs to improve that, but I'd like to see him out on the left foot, sort of coming inside, particularly if Calafiori's or Hincapie behind them, because they don't tend to invert it to the middle, they tend to go wide. And I think that's how you unlock the best out of him. But I think he's going to have an important role between now and the end of the season.
Okay. So for me though, I think we should chill with the Eze bashing because I feel everybody has to settle in at some point. Now, earlier also they were saying Gyökeres is this, is that, is this. I'm like, okay, first of all, take the league he played in before now. It's a less competitive league to the EPL. No offense to the Portuguese league, but I'm just saying these players have come into a team where, first of all, the style of play is different. You do not expect Arsenal to be without the ball for more than 3 to 5 minutes in the game throughout the 90 minutes. Now it means everybody on that team has to work at a certain point. Now these players I just mentioned come from a team where most of the work was done for them, not from them. You get. So like Gyökeres was just the main person in sports in that stands, get the ball, he shoots, he scores. Eze the same thing, he stays on the wing or as a 10, he gets the ball, he does his fence, he shoots or he passes, and that's all. But you are in an Arsenal team now that requires you to actually work. So I think yes, the punishment from Arteta was too long, but then I feel when Eze's time when his time comes, it won't be a matter of how well he is. It will be a matter of, oh, this guy is really, 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 really good. So I think the fans should chill a bit. They should give him some time a bit. But for me personally, my only fear for this season is the fact that we are in all competitions. That's honestly my only fear. I know we have the squad and all, but I'm just saying Trossard now is a doubt for this evening. Havertz won't play. And as you rightly said, Harvard has brought out the best in Gyökeres. Like, that's just the honest truth. At some point in the game, I think Jesus will come in and as a sub or something. But if I was to pick a front three, it will largely be, um, what do you call it? Gyökeres, it will largely be Gyökeres on as a nine, of course. Madueke on the right. So Madueke on the left. Then I will start with Martinelli on the right. If Eze plays as a 10, I will start with Martinelli on the right. But if Eze doesn't play as a 10, I will start with Eze on the right. Then let's just walk it through. But I'm just hoping, really, though, I'm hoping that by the end of the game, we should be way ahead of Man City. I know they are playing Newcastle next, but that's not the guarantee of any sort at all. At all. I feel we should focus on our game and we should let whoever is playing next play. Now, lastly, before this ends, top four predictions for the EPL. Top four predictions for the VP. Yeah.
I think you can look in Arsenal and City, right? Well, after that, you're struggling, because I think everyone is inconsistent. My gut feeling is that Chelsea will sneak. Well, Manchester United, I think, are going to get in there. They got nothing out.
Top four.
12 games. United have a decent but not exceptional 11. But they've only got 12 games. They pretty much play the same team every week. Michael Carrick's done a good job there, but all he's done is put the players in the right position and nothing more really. And I'm not trying to undermine him here, but but with just 12 games to go, I think that's a real boost for them that they've only got 12 games in anything else. Villa are in Europe, Liverpool are in Europe, Chelsea Europe. So I think they will get in there. And then I think I have a sneaky feeling that Chelsea might just do Villa. I mean, Villa should make it in, but I think Villa's squad is going to run out of steam. They've lost their 3 central midfielders to injury for a significant period of time. They've got European games come back in, and I think when that happens, I don't think they've got a squad to cope with it. So I'm going to go with Manchester United, Villa getting the top. Chelsea getting the top 4. That's a little,
So
could been hot take.
Yeah. So basically, for me, if I was to pick a top 4, normally top 2 is sorted. Arsenal and City. Then I do not see Villa dropping below 4th though. For me personally, I know they have tight schedules and all, and they are in European competitions, but still, I feel manager has a gift of being able to manage his players. Do you get, like, he knows when I feel like he knows the games to lose and the games to win, somehow like Pep does. So I think Villa, very, very good. Very, very, very good. I think Villa, and now the issue there is between Chelsea and Man United. No offense to Liverpool, but I doubt if they will sneak into top 4 this season. Chelsea, sure. I know, yes. I know as at now, they got the win against Sunderland yesterday. It was scrappy, but it was a win still. And
Sunderland only haven't lost at home this season.
just once, yes, the only loss yesterday. It's, same thing with us. But then I'm just saying, like, it's going to be a really, really, if by any chance they get into top 4, it's going to be a miracle of some sort. So that means Aston Villa or United or Chelsea have to sleep at some point. And if you look at the run of games, I think Liverpool has the easiest when it comes to these other teams. Chelsea has big teams to play. Man United may not have the easiest, but they kind of have these. They are like the freest team in the EPL, Big Six right now. I think they only play during EPL match days and all that. So yes, I think Aston Villa and United should make top 4 this season. Which brings me to the final point. If we are going to make any transfers, or if we're going to buy any players for the summer, which departments do you think we should reinforce?
I think it's really hard to say at this point because, everyone is rightly focused on the here and now. And you don't know who might want to leave and who, what bids might come in.
Sure.
So I think if you're just looking at where would you be looking to upgrade, I think left wing would be one area, and a bit more depth in that central midfield area because that's probably where the biggest drop off comes. You go from Rice to Mendy to Norgard and Moreno, and that's not to criticise Norgard and Moreno, but you look at the other areas and it's Gyökeres, Havertz or Sleep and Stera, and that's more of a compliment to the depth in other ends. I criticise those two because I think both have played very well this season. Norgard and Moreno when they played. So then the areas to upgrade, and I think you've then got to look at who's going, and there's a potential that Kepa might go. So then you need a backup goalkeeper. He's being linked with Bayern Munich yesterday. I'm sure Arsenal should make a tidy profit there. Ben White, I think Arsenal will be open to offers for Ben White. I think they'd be open to offers for
One year too. If Marcel come with a good offer, I think we'll let him stay.
I think 1 year he will stay. It's whether he goes out on loan again, just to help his development. But Trossard, Martinelli, Jesus, another one, and then you start to look to replace players. So I think the squad is the right size. Darwin presumably would take Nwaneri's minutes in 1 year he went out. So it's probably sure, I think, for 1 year he'd do. So I think he's a talented player. He needs minutes, and it's really hard to get into that side with the quality of players he's got to compete against.
And I think the Waneri situation will be like the Saliba situation. He came to Arsenal, he went on loan. Everyone was like, why did he go on loan? But when he came back, he actually took his spot in the team. So I think, to me, though, Waneri, when he's of age, when he's more matured when it comes to his position play and his strength or something, I think he will be the perfect replacement for Odegaard currently, if we're not buying any extra players. But if I was to like pick a department where I think we should buy players, it would be on Saka's wing. Very honest, to be in Saka. Like, I know Saka is trying another, but at some point in some games, I just tend to like see how tired he gets. I tend to see how weighty the entire game is on him. Yeah, in fairness to Omadoke, he's been extremely good. But I just think some competition around the left wing and the right wing rather, and maybe the attack. Now, I've been hearing news that we might go for Alvarez in the summer for 100 mil. I hope it happens, but if it does happen, it's going to be a very good buy for us. But for now, I think we should focus on where we are, what we need to do, and hopefully this evening at the GTEC we should have all 3 points.
Yeah, fully.
Yeah,
Yeah, a little foolish at the start. Just nice that
nice and easy.
just want to focus on getting the win in any way you can. That's all that matters at this moment in time. It's not going to be a thriller, but let's get 3 points.
As you said, it's going to be a very boring game, but then again, I don't really care how boring it gets if we win, if we get all 3 points. So thanks so much, man, for joining on this. And with time, we'll get in contact again. Then we'll see how we can do better and do more stuff together. Thanks so much, mate. Yeah. Cheers, mate. You're all right, mate. Thank you.
Speak soon.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.